boys and girls. Today we're going to talk about a compass rose. We're going to talk about how to label the cardinal and intermediate directions. You should have already watched the video that I included. If you have not, you need to go back and watch your video before you watch this one. There's a YouTube video called the Direction Song, I think. And so you need to watch that first before you do this. So what we're going to look at first is how you label the cardinal directions on a compass rose. So here's our compass rose. The first thing we want to do is label north. Then opposite of north is south. After you've labeled south, you're going to look over here and you're going to label west. And right across from west is east. Here's a little helpful hint. When you have west and east labeled correctly, it will spell the word we. W-E. If you spell it backwards, it spells ew, and that would not be what we want. So again, if you have it labeled correctly, you'll have west, then east, and it'll spell we when you look across. You also learned about intermediate directions. These are the directions that come in between your four main directions. So let's go ahead and look at these four cardinal directions first. At the top is always north, and across from north is south. We have west, and we have east, and if we read those across, we get the word we. So when we look here, we see this big arrow pointing, and it's not really north, it's not east, it's right in between those. So we call that northeast. And we have the same kind of thing going on here. This is not south, it's not east, it's right in the middle, so we call that southeast. And the same thing over here, we have one right in the middle between south and west, so we call that southwest. And one in the middle here between north and west, so that's called northwest. When I think about how to label these intermediate directions, I like to think about north and south as kind of the boss directions. And so they always come first when you add east or west to them. One other thing I want you to pay attention to is that all of these labels are capital letters. So whenever you label a compass rose on your own, you always want to make sure that you have capital letters. If your teacher's grading you on how you labeled them, lowercase letters would get some points taken off. So after this, you're going to go to your assignments and you're going to look there for a blank compass rose that you can either print, or if you don't have a printer, you can get a piece of paper and draw a compass rose and practice labeling that. We will be having a test over this probably at the end of next week. And so you want to be sure that you can label these directions correctly on your compass rose.